Hello, hello. Hello. I don't even know what that's from, but it's something. Because everything in my brain is something, huh? Little pop culture repository. Hey. Destination Decluttered. Me, you. Good morning. What is it? Tuesday? Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday morning. I said I'd be here, and I'm here. Look at how good I am. I hope you are keeping your promises to yourself. Keeping your promises to other people is wicked important. Do not get me wrong. That's how you build trust. But I want you to trust yourself. I know I'm going deep. I know I'm going deep. This is where I'm at. Meet me. Meet me here in the deep end of the pool. It's fun. You'll have fun. We're gonna paddle on over to where like the little inflatable plastic pink flamingos are and little tiki drinks and stuff. But it's fun to hang out in the deep end of the pool too, with our little things. And keeping your promises to yourself helps you trust yourself. So I promised myself that I would do a TikTok live this morning. I promised you I would do a TikTok live today, and I let you know of that because it created kind of this little spider web thread of accountability. I posted a video. I sent it telling people I was going to do it. People on the mailing list knew it because it was on the mailing list. And voila, people, I am here. There you go. Good morning, Christina Glendale. I hope you are doing well. Terry, I see you got stuff going on. Luann and Janice and Shorty and Alice and Butterfly and Alexandra and Lynn and Lucy and Dana. Daner. That's, oh God, Kirk and Daner. My Boston accent puts the O's where they're not supposed to be. There we go. Okay, so just Michelle. Welcome. Isn't it a nice surprise? So I don't mind it if my existence, what do I want to say? My appearance, thank you. My appearance is a surprise to you. However, I will say, if you follow me allegedly, see, this doesn't, I don't know quite how the TikTok works. The TikTok, listen to me, I'm like 90 years old. If you follow my page and I guess you allow for notifications, it's supposed to notify you when I do a live. However, technology being what it is, what I also want to suggest is when I do have TikTok live scheduled, I will pretty much always put the schedule, even if it's just a week. I usually do it about a week at a time because I have a flexible life and I want to keep my schedule. I like to keep my schedule open as much as I can for new consultations for clients. So it's between my existing clients and making room for new ones, and that's when I fit in my TikTok lives. But there's a schedule that's posted at the top of my TikTok page that's pinned. It's one of the pinned videos. So if you're ever curious, because I'm showing up 2 more times this week, don't ask me when right now. If you're ever curious as to when I'm going to do another TikTok live, always check there. Also get on the mailing list, destinationDecluttered.com/join, because I let the people there know way before anybody else. And also occasionally I do pop-ups. So that's that kind of stuff. So there are ways to find this stuff out. Okay, but surprise, here I am. There we go. Okay, Alice is saying, I'm so glad you were here today at this journey. I have to pack 3 hours into 1 hour of, okay. Alice, focus. You got this. You can do it. Now go. Okay, there we go. Well, I'm glad I'm here too. All right, Carla Holiday is saying, man, I've needed y'all today. I am drowning. Okay, here. We were talking about being in the deep end of the pool. I'm throwing you a life raft. It's cute. It's pink. It's got a flamingo on it. Grab a hold of that and hang out with me, okay? You're going to be fine. Notice that when you are feeling like you're drowning, legit drowning, and that anxious feeling that feels like you're drowning, it's your nervous system, and it feels like you can't breathe, okay? Morning, Erin. Nice to see you. So take some deep breaths. Even if you don't feel like drowning, deep breaths, as I always say, this is one of my other mantras. I'm on like this mantra kick this week. I just uploaded a video of some. Here's one to try out. Can't hurt, might help. Can't hurt to take a deep breath. Definitely doesn't hurt. Actually feels good. Kind of even calms down my frantic, energetic energy. Feels good. Feels good to my cells. Do more of that. Breathe deep. When you feel better, you're going to do better. Okay? So notice that. So take some deep breaths. And where are you today on your journey? Celebrate how far you've come. Forgive yourself the stuff that you didn't do so great yesterday. That's no big deal. We're human. Celebrate what you did well yesterday. Do more of that today. And when I say more, it's funny because this was my video. My video I just uploaded. No, I'm not saying more. I just mean do it again. Repeat what you did yesterday that was good. Lather, rinse, repeat. Get it on repeat. I'm excited, honest to God, because for 2 days in a row, I have gone on my morning walks. I will share with you during, well, it still is February, but it's pretty much almost March. During January and February, I slacked off like a mofo as far as my morning walks go. It was cold. It was dark. It was dark. It was cold. I was lazy. I wanted to be warm. And I say lazy like I just didn't feel like doing it. But boy, did that have some unintended consequences. I feel like I've lost some muscles. I feel I have gained some weight. Ooh, boy, howdy. And so I, for the second day in a row, did a morning walk. I'm feeling good about myself. I hope you're feeling good about yourself today too. Okay. All right, Carla. I am cleaning out my mom's home to remodel it, and my daughter is buying my house at the same time. Where do we put the things from both houses at one time? Dana Reynolds suggests, and I will too, get an on-site storage pod. Get some third place to put the things. I wish, here's a funny thing. There's a distinct possibility that this thing that I'm looking for to illustrate this situation is something I decluttered. But do you guys remember those little flat plastic puzzles that were all these tiles that were kind of, you would slide them around. They were in a frame, and you would slide them around, and you had to slide them to make a picture. They could be all scrambled up, but you had to slide them in a certain order in order to create the picture. What this means is that sometimes, think of that, sometimes to get things the way you want them to be, temporarily you have to put something where it doesn't belong. Temporarily. Temporary storage is a benefit in many circumstances. Permanent storage is something that might be concerning if you are trying to declutter. But when you sometimes need a third space to get your things out of, so you have room to move things. When I used to be in retail management and visual merchandising, and we would do a reset of a store, or even just, refreshing things for, changing up things on shelves, you would need a staging area, a temporary place to put the stuff so you could move the things that were there and then put the things there near you, okay? So notice that. See if what you can do as far as a temporary storage place for that. Now, I will say where the decluttering comes in is deciding if you want to put that stuff in storage or not. Now, this is a wonderful time for you to say, if you're cleaning out your mom's home, what are you putting in storage and what are you giving away? Now, this may not be the best time for you to make all of those decisions, but pay attention to the kind of easy peasy decisions you can make. You're not going to make all of them now because your brain is going to be doing other things, but you can say, yeah, I definitely know I don't want that thing in my house. And you can start to make a pile or a thing to donate or sell or give to other people in the family. Okay? Oh, there you go. The homes are side by side. So yeah, have a place where you can be like, okay, today I'm gonna and it literally does become, and it's so funny to me at my age right now, when I can look back in my rearview mirror of all the kind of random jobs that I've had, that there is a through line that I have so enjoyed, which is kind of creating order out of chaos and problem solving and helping people with what they're struggling with. And I say this because if you think about it, it's like, okay, if you've got a kitchen and I've got a kitchen, we can't move them all at the same time. But what you could do is you could take your mom's kitchen, you could empty it into the third place. While you're doing that, then your daughter can move her stuff into your things. You know what I mean? And then her thing would be empty, So notice, allow yourself a temporary staging area, okay? I love that you say great idea. Doesn't it feel better already? Having a plan, taking some deep breaths. You're not drowning. See, now you're hanging out with me. We're in these pink flamingo shaped, pool floaties, and pretty soon we'll have a Mai Tai. Okay. Hope that helps. So once much like always, I often forget to introduce myself to the new people. Good morning. My name is Beth. I am a decluttering life coach, and my coaching is called Destination Decluttered. Why destination, you ask? Because for years, I used to plan kick-ass road trips like you wouldn't believe, and I wrote about them. I became kind of famous for them. However, I did not, my life felt like it was stuck on the sidelines in a lot of ways. Until I discovered thinking of my life like a road trip, having a destination I'm excited to get to, changed all that. So I call it Destination Decluttered because I want you to think of not necessarily where you are now, but where do you want to be? What are you excited to get your home to look like? Yeah, Teresa's saying, rent the pod, you know? You are all such life rafts in such a great place. Yes. Isn't it great? Hey, y'all, we're in the pool or the ocean. I like the ocean too. But notice how it feels better. Now you don't feel like you're drowning. You've got some friends. You've got some help. And we all are just people that really don't know each other, but we're all just trying to help each other get through this thing called life in a way that doesn't feel awful, the way that feels better. See, what a cool group of people always show up for my TikTok lives. I am forever grateful for all y'all, as they say, and I am not even Southern. That's how good it is. Okay. So what can I tell you? Oh, you know what? There was something actually I want to say. Usually I let it go free form, you know. There we go. I will say this, Carla, you've got some people helping you out here in the comments. Feel free to read that. One of the things I wanted to share specifically today, especially because this week is the end of one month and the beginning of another, is I want to share with you the power of paying attention to what you're doing and kind of tracking it. Now, what do I mean by that? If you want to show up and do something different, if you want to get something to be a habit, if you want to get any kind of result, you need to show up a number of times in a row in order for you to notice a change. I am thinking specifically of, for example, the example of like going to the gym. Or you want to get stronger, you don't just do it once and then you're like, oh, look, I am strong. Oftentimes these things require showing up again and again and again and again. And one of the tools you can use to encourage you to show up to do those things, especially when you're not seeing the results right away, is to track what you're doing. Now, I will admit to you, all of you who have signed up for the Destination Decluttered email mailing list receive a free habit tracker that is attached to your welcome email. Now, I used to be really good at that, but I got out of the habit. I got off of the habit track. I was talking to a client yesterday about it. And it showed. When I didn't kind of remind myself to drink enough water, to get more exercise, to get some exercise, to move my body, to breathe deeply, to stretch, to get strong, I was starting to feel physically ugh. So what I did this week, and I want to encourage you guys too, you don't have to wait for the beginning of the month. You don't have to wait for a Sunday. You don't have to wait for a Monday. You can start at any time to just stop doing the things that weren't helpful and start to do the more helpful things. And tracking it might work. So what did I do? I went back to the stuff that worked before. I have a habit tracker. I filled it out. And I, so far, have even just doing one day, I feel so much better mentally. Crazy thing is, I will share this with you, and I wrestle with this. If I were only measuring what I was doing by the number on the scale, I would be upset because we associate the number on the scale with certain things. And trust me, I'm a woman in this world. I know all about that. My scale, yesterday I did, quote, everything right, and the scale went up. I'm like, really? But you know what? I feel better in my body. The scale is only one number, and look at all this good stuff I did yesterday, and I'm going to continue to do it. I'm not going to let that one thing throw me off track, okay? So I want to suggest to you, if you want to declutter, if you want to get into some better habits, the habit tracker you get actually has, oh crap, where did I put it? The habit tracker you get from me when you do your Destination Decluttered thing has some tips on it. I give you one that's already filled out, So here's some things. Keys, coat, mail, shoes, laundry, trash recycling, dishes, surfaces, unsubscribing, and rocking yourself. Can you imagine how much better your home would look and feel, even in just 3 or 4 days, if every day you put your keys away, you hung your coat up, you opened your mail and you put it away, like you did something with it, you put your shoes away, you put your dirty laundry somewhere, you put the trash. All these things don't take that long, but man, would it make a difference. So if you haven't used your habit tracker, I highly encourage you, print it out. If you forget where you put it, I think I'm going to attach it to the monthly email that I'm going to send out sometime this weekend. And if you're not on the mailing list, just get on it. DestinationDecluttered.com/join. And I'm saying this not to just encourage you, ooh, look, I got more people. No, because I know that I have already feeling the difference of when I have fallen off the habit track, and I'm getting back on track because I'm tracking stuff. And it's like, if I did it yesterday, if I walked 10,000 steps yesterday, I can do it again today. There we go. Okay, Kay, you know what? Let's blame the moon. Wasn't there a full moon a couple of days ago? You know what? If we only focus, Kay, this is what I'm saying to myself and I will share with you. That number on the scale is only one of a boatload of numbers that we could measure our life by. What would be the number that you would give the enjoyment of your life? The number of delightful people you have, the number of wonderful things, the number of lives that you make a difference in. There are all sorts of numbers. A random machine on the floor of the bathroom that happened to record your number. What if that number was wrong for both of us? What if suddenly the magnetic pull of the core of the Earth decreased the accuracy of the things of the scales, and made us all increase by like 10 pounds and we didn't even know it. It's such a freaking arbitrary number, but man, have we been taught to hang so much weight on that number. And for us to break that spell is going to be powerful. So, okay, Kay, you and I, we both rock, regardless of the scale, and let's just live a good life today, okay? All right. All right, so German Maid went through your jewelry box, kept a few pieces, sold the jewelry box, and got rid of 80% of the jewelry. Rock on. That is good stuff. That is good stuff. You know what? I love that. Notice that you did that. You went in. You made a decision. What do I want to keep? I want to keep a few pieces. What do I not want? I don't want 80% of the jewelry or this jewelry box, and you sold it, so you made some money. That must feel great. Cool. There we go. Okay, yeah, Barbara Dean, consistency. Yes, consistency. And here's another thing. I am going to include it on the monthly email. I'm actually going to write that down so I don't forget. Monthly email, habit tracker. I call my habit tracker pavers and potholes. There's a reason for this. I don't want you to go for perfection and then get upset when you fall off the wagon or you didn't do anything. What I want you to think of, and this is one of the reasons why this habit tracker has like the outline of the United States on it. I like to think it's you're paving a way across the USA. You're on a cross-country road trip. If you are on a road trip heading towards, your destination, if you hit a pothole, you wouldn't be like, oops, that's it. I broke the chain. I'm giving up. It's not worth it. I'm going to go back to doing nothing. Give yourself some grace. Put a 0, put an O in there, just a circle, pothole for that day when you didn't empty the dishwasher or whatever it was. And then the next day, show up and do it. Or not even the next day, but as soon as you notice you didn't do the thing, try to do the thing. One thing I will share with you is walking around your house and decluttering gives you steps. It does. So when you're walking around your house, doing your surface decluttering, and you're going up and down stairs and you're moving this and moving that, if you have your pedometer on you, like I use the kind of pedometer, the steps counter on my phone, so I'm always having my phone in my pocket of my yoga pants. I do that so I can get those steps because I feel it encourages me to move more. Last night I had like 200 to go, and I was like, okay, well I can do this when I'm walking around. I'll put this down the basement. I'll put this here. I'll walk to the other room. I'll put things away where they belong. And when you put things away where they belong in other rooms, you get the steps too. Bonus, especially if you're tracking your steps. Okay? Yeah. So consistency is good, but do not bum yourself out. Just pick yourself up, dust yourself off, start all over again as soon as you realize that you're not doing the thing you said you were going to do. Okay? Let's see what we got here. There we go. I know I'm going in the right direction, so I'm just going to say off the scale. Yeah, the scale is a random measure. And really, if you think about it, like if all of us think about it, it's so funny. Why does the amount of I keep on thinking gravitational pull that we have on the universe, on the like, what does that number even matter about how we look, how we enjoy our lives or not, how much better we make the world? If we focus on that one thing, we feel sad and scared and unlovable. And when you feel sad, scared, and unlovable, you are controllable by people who want to sell you a solution. They want to sell you, you're not worthy. They want to keep control of you. But if you say, hey, you know what? I'm the biggest I've ever been right here, and I feel awesome, that's power. Then what the other people say, it doesn't bug you. Now, trust me, it's a journey, but it's a journey worth getting onto. Okay? There we go. Yeah, the snow moon. I saw that above the horizon on Saturday night when I was driving down the highway to my husband's gig. It was amazing. It was like, whoa. Okay. There we go. Yeah. I open the mail. Do something with it. That next step, Allure Interiors. Yes, I want everybody to think of, I did the thing. What is the next step for this to be just kind of done or moving along in the process or better? I open my mail. Yay. That's better than not opening it. But once you open it, what's the next step? What could you do with that? You know? There we go. Smitten Kitten says, I started with, if I can just keep my sink clean, I can go to bed feeling good. Then I added daily. Yep. German Maid says it feels awesome from doing all the selling and the jewelry stuff. Feels so good, doesn't it? Just Michelle says, sold our gigantic sofa to downsize to a more practical size. Notice the difference in the size of things. This one was too big. I'm always bringing up what's her name? Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Never mind the fact that she broke into somebody's house and started eating their stuff and sleeping in their beds. That was weird, I know. But the general context is, think of what feels right to you. To her, if this was too hot, this was too cold, to Mama Bear, Papa Bear, and Baby Bear who lived there, each one of those things was just right. So what feels, nervous system, heart, what feels just right to you? That gigantic sofa might have felt good for a while, but then it started to feel too big. Then you're like, you know what would feel better is one that's smaller and more practical. We're going to downsize. Yes. There we go. Okay, Smitten Kitten, perfect. That whole thing started at keeping the sink clean. Now I have a list of 10 daily tasks that make me feel good at the end of the day. And I bet that makes you feel good during the day, having just done those, you know? Yep, I knock the list out faster each day and then add a new one. Make sure you're feeling good about this. Now, I don't want people to think, if you haven't done this, I don't want you to think, oh my God, I'm always decluttering. It feels good when you're tidying up after yourself. When you can go from a tiny messy, like, you know, it's like wiping down the table after you have dinner. You feel better after you do it. Some of these things, the 10 daily tasks could take less than 5 minutes out of the entire day, not a piece, out of the entire day. There we go. Dana Reynolds says, yesterday I donated 2 sewing machines and a box of sewing supplies. How awesome for people who want to sew. Now, I think you guys have heard me before, I've talked about this stuff before. I used to think I was going to be crafty. I was for a little bit, but then I was like, all right, this is kind of fun, but I'm kind of done. I'm not enjoying this, and I'd rather do other things with my time. And so I did buy myself a sewing machine, but then it sat in the corner. It sat actually, there's a closet right here. Is this closet right there? That closet, for years, had that sewing machine. And I was looking for a way to pass it along to somebody else who wanted it. I believe it was my sister. I'll have to follow up with her. I gave it to her. I sold it to her. I can't even remember. I'm going to even see if she used it because she thought she might want to use it. You know? There we go. Daisy Dog says, join your email. Got it. Message received. Look for your welcome email with your habit trackers attached, okay? You get one that has these just, you know, kind of like they were saying the 10 little tasks you're doing. Just quick little tasks to just check. Did you do that? Yep, did it. Did it. Did it. Feels good. And then another one that you get is the same thing, but it's blank right here. So you can fill in your own stuff that you want to work on. So like, for example, the blank one I have all these things about making I got to take better care of my physical body. Because if my physical body doesn't feel good, it doesn't even really matter at this point what it looks like. But if it doesn't feel good, if it feels weak, if it feels rumbly, if it feels bloated, if it feels hunched over, then I don't feel good. And I want to feel good, so I'm going to work on taking care of it. And yes, Lab, my husband is in a band. He's a musician, and he had a gig on Saturday night. There we go. Smitten Kitten, you're rocking it. You are. Okay. Some days when I miss some, I feel good and focus on what I accomplished and not what I missed. Talk about what you focus on. What you focus on, you're going to find more of. So you're going to congratulate yourself more on what you did. You're going to minimize what you didn't do. And you know what that does, people? That sets you up energetically. Your gas tank will be more full the next day when you show up to do things. If you remind yourself of what you did versus harping on what you didn't do. Okay? Now, Raven Whiskey Designs, you hate the clutter and you're so overwhelmed. You've come to the right place because I can help you with that. What I want to help you with first, like everybody, it's always the number one thing, is the overwhelm of clutter. And the overwhelm of clutter, think about this. Couple of tips. One is I want you to think that overwhelm has the word over in it. Think of being over your head, overwhelmed. You're looking at things too big. The word I want you to think of now, oh, and check it out. I got my mug. I didn't even mean to do this. I want you to think of the word down, okay? I want you to slow down. If you feel overwhelmed, anybody, when you're feeling overwhelmed, I want you to slow down. How do you do that? I want you to breathe down. Breathe down. Everybody right now, take a deep breath down to the bottom of your lungs and then slowly exhale. Do that 3 times. One more time. Breathing down into your lungs helps. Slowing down what you're doing. Slowing down your racing thoughts. Quieting down your brain. What else do I have here? Work on your nervous system. Work on how you feel. And if you're overwhelmed, do these things. And pay attention to calming things down, slowing things down, quieting things down, breathing down, all the downs I like to call it. And then get your thoughts out of your head and onto paper. Grab a notebook, grab a workbook, start writing the stuff down. Dump it out, dump it down, and then you can chunk it down. Okay? So notice that. You can do this. See, Smitten Kitten, she's talking from experience, as am I. Start with one thing a day. It will get easier, and boy, does it feel great. Okay? So there we go. Daisy Dogs, same type of thing. Calm down your nervous system. What you do is when you stop the racing thoughts, when you quiet them down, they will always be in your head, but you can quiet them down temporarily, or you can just kind of turn down the volume on them. Pretend it's a station you just don't want to listen to on the radio. You can tell I'm a little timey because I'm like turning it like it's a knob. Turn down the volume on that, and even just the quiet, you'll start to hear from yourself. You can do it. You got this. I show up the way I speak all the time, especially with my one-on-one clients because I do one-on-one coaching and also my TikTok lives. I speak in the language of your co-pilot. You're the driver. I'm in the passenger seat, and I just am there to say to you, you got this. You can do it. Where do you want to go? I can help you get there. Let's go. This is going to be fun. Let's make it fun. Why have it be boring? Let's start today. When you quiet down those unhelpful, negative voices that say, I'm overwhelmed, I can't do it, this is too much, I don't feel good. When you quiet them down, you have a space and you have a choice. You can choose to think something different. And thinking something different will make you feel different, and then you'll do different. Okay? That's how it goes. Yep. And notice where it is. My vacuum is broken. I get papers everywhere. I get, I'm saying this because I kid, but I'm not saying that they aren't facts, but you can do something about it. If your papers are everywhere, spend some time today putting them in just one place as opposed to everything. Maybe one pile, but you can do something about it. Okay? Now, Anastasia is saying, I have 2 washers. One new, doesn't work. Hope to salvage it? Okay, let's talk about that right away. What would be the next step for you to salvage that washer? Finding out somebody who works on them in your neighborhood, maybe, your community? Researching how to salvage a washer? 2 stoves, how to salvage one of them? 2 microwaves, 2 brooms. Well, you've got the certs, two mints in one. 2 microwaves, 2 brooms. 1, 2, 2 little cups. 1, 2, 2 little spoons. 2 little cups, 2 little spoons. All put together in the little doll house. Remember that? It was from Sesame Street, I think. Or no, it was totally Sesame Street. Maybe it was Electric Company because it did talk about counting. Just notice, isn't that interesting? I have 2 of everything. I don't need 2, So why? Ask yourself, why do I have 2 mops? Here's a funny thing about especially cleaning supplies. We think if we buy something, it's gonna do the work for us, but it doesn't. Yeah. I'm gonna totally look up that 1-2 little thing. But Anastasia, just notice that you got this stuff and say, okay, don't judge yourself. Do not judge yourself. Judgment and shame I was talking to a client this morning. I have a 6 a.m. client, and we were talking about when you talk to yourself in a negative way, in an accusing way, in a judgy way, you pretty much roll up in a ball like an armadillo because you're trying to protect yourself from feeling that pain of being yelled at. However, so don't do that. The armadillos, when they're up in protection mode, they don't get anything done. They're just trying to survive. Come at this, everybody, not just Anastasia, not just Daisy Dogs. Come at everything with a feeling and a sense and an energy of love for yourself and this one life you have, one life to live. Love for yourself, curiosity, non-judgment, helpfulness, encouragement. So instead of saying, why do I have this? I'm so frustrated. Say, why do I have 2 mops? The answer can be like, I don't know, but I do. Do I need 2 mops? I don't know. Maybe I do. Maybe one's upstairs, one's downstairs. Maybe one doesn't work, one does work. One works better than the other, but I didn't get rid of the other because in case this one works. Just notice your thoughts. There we go. Aw, Lori Hannah. You are doing so good, my dear. Lori Hannah, I am going to tell you, everybody, Lori Hannah is fucking rocking the world. She is. She is one of my one-on-one clients. And trust me, this is not one of those planted infomercial slick bullshit type of, oh, she just happened to show up. But Lori and I have been working together, and she is making such great progress. And I so enjoy I feel honored to be on that journey with her and helping her. Who doesn't want somebody like Hansel and Gretel? I mean, again, you don't want to be like, oh, we're going to the witch's house or whatever. But going through some scary stuff alone, and decluttering can be scary. You're uncovering things that cause you to feel feelings. It's so much easier when somebody's on your side, just there next to you, showing you support, saying, you got this. You can do it. I am so proud of what you're doing, and you can do this because you've been through the scary stuff. So when Lori says one-on-one coaching has helped me get back to myself and the life I want, still have more but happy, I am so honored to help you do that. So thank you for allowing me to help you with that. I am so freaking proud of you. And I don't know, can you tell this was not planned, but you're doing great, Lori, and thank you for telling everybody how much the coaching has helped you. Okay, but seriously, you guys, coaching can change your life for the better. It's changing my life because I love it. I want to do it all the time. And I do. I have a lot of clients. I love them, but I'm always looking for new clients who just need some encouragement, who just need somebody there with them. But also, I am there to encourage you, but I also bring such a toolkit from my decades worth of random stuff that I've done to help you get decluttered, make time in your life for what's important to you, and it is a freaking life changer. Boom. That's why I do it. There's many other things I could do with my life. I have never loved something as much that I've done in my life as I do what I'm doing now, because it just aligns so much with so many things that are important to me that I know I'm good at some stuff And I just want to share it with you so you get good at it too. It's not about me doing it for you, and when I go away, it goes away. No, I want to teach you this. I want to share with you the toolkit that I've assembled to get yourself decluttered. I want to share it with you so then you have it too. And then you use it and you get better at it. It's like teaching somebody how to drive a car. If you don't know how to do it, there's no shame. You could sit behind the wheel and beat yourself up. Why don't I know how to do this? Why don't I know how to drive a car? Maybe you just weren't taught. Maybe you need a refresher course. But when you know how to do it and you practice, you get better. And the more you do it, the better you get. And then you get some tips, you get even better. And then suddenly you can do it on your own. Okay? So, coaching, it's where it's at. I love it. And I don't even want to go into infomercially, but it's wicked powerful. Okay? Thank you very much, everybody, for helping up. All right, getting into a self-care routine. Wicked cool. Thank you, Catherine. Self-care. I'm talking a lot. I have a client I just met with yesterday. One of her destinations is destination, make self-care a priority. And we did just that. We defined what did self-care look for her. Trust me, this is self-care right here, is literally reminding myself to do something as simple as drink more water, stretch my body, gain some strength, get out in the world and move around, eat some more healthy things, drink fewer cocktails. It's all about that. But and you know what's going to help? Will probably help you to, honestly, Daisy Dogs, get on my mailing list, get your habit tracker, and literally just put like 3 things. Don't overwhelm yourself. Mine is long because I've been doing this for a while. None of this stuff takes a wicked long time. I do these things like throughout the day. Oh God, I hate that when people do those things where they go like, I have no fingernails. I always cut them off. Write down 3 things at the top of the blank one that you want to do that you know is going to make you feel better. Just start with those 3 things. And every day you do it, you put the date here, and then you just fill in the little thing. Now, because here's a fun thing. I like to think of a cross-country road trip, but I'm on the East Coast of the United States, so I'm left-handed, so I have a whole different perspective on a lot of stuff. So I start mine over here, and I feel like I'm driving like towards California. You can start yours here if you like. It doesn't matter. Just what I want you to think of is when you're in your car and driving, you're making progress. So that's why the map is there, to remind you that any movement forward is progress. All right. Yep. You can accumulate things quickly. Aw, thank you. Thank you, Jelly Bee Dude. We love you. Thank you. All right. Thank you. Anastasia, somebody mentioned this too. How do I get a private consultation? Wicked easy. 2 things. If you go to my if you go to my website, destinationdecluttered.com, you will see a work with me page. And that has it has a fairly big orange button on it that says, schedule your consultation here. I'm just looking at it right now because let me see what I got. There's then a what do you call it? A calendar is going to pop up. Now, I will say this in all honesty, because I am one human being, and this is how I roll. I do not have a lot of automation built into what I'm doing because I love so much of this process. And my life is so happily flexible that I schedule my stuff on almost a weekly basis. It's not regimented. Monday through Friday, I do this. Oh my gosh, I have railed against that kind of regimentation since the get-go. And so when I decided to create my coaching business, I said, I'm not going to do it in a way that makes me feel like a machine instead of a human. So right now, if you go to my website, you will notice that I have only 2 days this week where there are some consultation slots available. I get it if those 2 days do not work for you. Trust me. And I have yet to put some on for next week. I will do that before I leave I'm going to a thing this weekend. But I will say this. Getting on the Destination Decluttered mailing list is the easiest, peasiest way to get a consultation with me. That way, you and I have a direct communication. You get first dibs on when I do release them. You know beforehand what my availability is. And I will always make so much more availability for the people that are on the Destination Decluttered mailing list than I will for just random people off the street, because you have entrusted me with your email address and your communication. I honor that. I do not spam you. I just endeavor to send you the good stuff. Okay? So if this is all kind of landing with you and you want to take that next baby step, seriously, Destination Decluttered email list is the way to go. Okay, it's a baby step to help you go in the right direction. Okay. Yeah, you weren't taught these things. Many of us weren't. We either were taught the wrong way, or we had somebody who knew how to do it well and they did it themselves so you didn't learn, or you grew up with a parent who didn't know how to do it so they showed you their hinky way of doing it. That's more the second way for me. I was told to build things up, freak things out, throw it in a doom bag or a box, put it away, and not deal with it for decades. I am literally helping said parent with that now, but I love her. I do. Everybody on the planet is doing the best they can with what they have. When you come, instead of being judgy, when you can be, at least in the decluttering world and stuff like that there, when you can be less judgmental and more curious and loving, it shifts your energy and it shifts and it gets stuff done. Okay? And loving for yourself. There we go. Okay, Anastasia. Okay, notice your propensity for that's one of the things too, is noticing trends and knowing habits. Notice you have a habit of collecting multiples of things. Even in the yard, I keep finding chairs and bringing them home. Now I have 16 chairs. I have a vision. What's your vision? Write down your vision and make it happen. Or not. But notice, pay attention to your vision, but decide if you're going to do it or not. This is the thing too, is I'm all about people having visions, and I don't like the word execute because it sounds like executioner. But if you have an idea in your head of something you want to do it. Do the thing with the 16 chairs. Okay? So notice that. Notice what you're doing. Notice what you're not doing. See, Laura Gibbons Voorhees. So Laura is helping a friend of hers with her clutter, just, with the innate awesome skills that I know Laura has anyway, and maybe with a side of fries, which would be what you're learning here on Retro Roadmap. And Laura is saying, my friend who has struggled with clutter, my friend told me that having my positive energy helped her with momentum. Rock on. Because you know what momentum is? It's going from stuck to started. It's going from park to neutral to driving forward. And momentum is once you get doing things and you are doing and you're in action. You're taking action. You're doing things. You're on a roll. You're not just sitting there and thinking about things and not doing. Thinking is the start. But thinking is supposed to just give you enough to then get you started moving and doing the things and creating with movement the life you want and the way you want your home to look and feel. You can't blink and it gets done. We are not I Dream of Jeannie. We are not Bewitched. Tinkle, tinkle, tink. We all wish we were, right? If I could just be like, hey, body of a 25-year-old with no cellulite and stuff like that there. Blink. Wouldn't it be lovely? That's not how our world works, but that's okay because we can still do something about it. There's like a balance between not doing anything and wishing it was different. You can do something about it. You can do things to make your life better. Let me repeat that. You can do things to make your life better. You can. I know you can. All right, what else do we have here? Yep. A person in motion tends to stay in motion. That is like a scientific thing. Yeah. Keep staring at your yard and then doing nothing. What are the thoughts that are going through your head when you're not doing anything? Even if they're unhelpful, write them down. Get them out of your head and see what's stopping you. Okay? Oh, thank you, Erin, for coming in too. I missed it because a lot of things are going on here. Figure out pricing. I will tell you. Yeah, I've checked your site and couldn't find a ballpark. It's somewhere between $47 and $4,700. How's that? Now, the thing is, the reason I don't talk about price here is because I don't want the price to scare you off. I want you to make a decision about what's right for you, and then you can decide if it's worth it to you, if what you are going to get is worth it. Some people think I am too expensive. Other people have said, oh my God, you're a freaking bargain. It really depends. But what I want to offer to you is, how much would you pay to get the skills to live a life that looks and feels and functions exactly like you want it to, not just during the coaching period. It's like learning how to drive. You learned how to drive back maybe in your teens, and now you've been doing it for decades. What if you could spend some time and some money to have somebody teach you for a short amount of time, and they were there with you and practicing, and you're getting it and you're getting it and it's good and we're working on it and you're getting better and stronger and things like that until you felt like, yep, I can do this on my own. Boom. For the rest of your life, you have those skills. And you keep on using them and they grow stronger, and then you can share them with people. You can spread the word. You literally cannot put a price tag on that. I have to put a price tag on it because it's a business. And I really, honestly, I really feel good about what I charge because I want you to, people, we take care of things that cost money. You probably take care of the stuff that you spent more money on than the stuff that you got for free on the side of the road. The clothing that you spent $200 on, $400 on, whatever, even if it's like the clothing you got free versus the thing that you paid $9 at the Goodwill. You do different things when you are paying money. That is a psychological thing as to why I charge what I charge. But I still, trust me, it is pennies compared to what I know other people charge. But I feel good about it, and I don't want the money conversation to get in the way of even discovering if what I do is working for you. If what I'm doing wouldn't work for you, then the money doesn't even matter. But don't let the money stop you from at least finding out. And it's totally low pressure. I do not pressure anybody into anything, but you can make a much more informed decision when you know what you're paying for. And not even just what you're paying for the results you want. If you want that life and you think coaching is going to help you, it's going to help you. Okay? I love it. GGX 2000 is saying, I want to start my clothes closet today, but where do I begin? Open the doors and, yeah, oh, you're going to get to Palm Springs. It's cool. Okay. What I want to offer to you is in your closet, start somewhere. Here's a couple of tips. Start with the easy stuff. First of all, I'm always going to say, start with the destination in mind. What do you want that closet to look, feel, and function like before you even start it? You will often find out how you want it to look because currently it's looking the opposite. I want to be able to walk in if it's a walk-in closet. I want to be able to walk on the floor. Okay. One step could be, let's clear the stuff off the floor. I want to be able to find the clothes that look good and feel good on my body. Okay. Why can't I find them? Well, because they're probably interspersed with clothing that doesn't look good or feel good. So in order to find the stuff you like, you can do one of two things. You can pull out what you like and put it aside and then deal with the other stuff. Or you can start pulling out the stuff that you're kind of weeding the garden, knowing the stuff. Notice when I do that, my hands go in a kind of a combing motion, combing through your clothes and pulling out the stuff that you know that you're not wearing anymore. Weeding out that stuff will give you more room for the stuff you do know. But everybody, it is beneficial to say to yourself, when I am not moving in the direction that I know I want to go to, why am I not moving? Why? When I open that, and it can immediately be that kind of, oh my gosh, there's so much. But then you know what? But then when you get in the habit of it, you can be like, but I can do something about this. I can do something about this. Yesterday I did the video of I can do something. I can do something about something that bugs me. Talk about power. If something bugs you, you can change it. If you got a problem, I'll solve it. Right? So, you can do it. Task paralysis is a real thing. However, you can unparalyze yourself. Shake it off. Literally notice, pretend you're a robot and just get your body to stand up. You can do that. The only thing that's stopping you is thoughts that create feelings. But you can work it backwards. What would happen if I just stood up? What would happen if I just touched that item? What would happen if I grabbed a hold of it and looked at it and had a conversation with it? You can overcome your paralysis. Just because it has a fancy, scary name, task paralysis. I've got task paralysis. Doesn't necessarily mean it's real, but it also doesn't mean it could be real, but it doesn't mean that it is set in stone. You can unparalyze yourself. You can. As, what's her name? Taylor Swift would say, shake it off. Shake it off. Say, no, you know what? And even just moving your body can disrupt the task paralysis. You know, right now, if I put on, I stay up too late, and we're all dancing around, moving your body disrupts that energy of paralysis. And you say, wait a minute, what was I afraid of doing? Oh, that's right, putting some dishes in the dishwasher, you know, and then you're doing the frug and the boogaloo, you know. There we go. Yeah. Yes, exactly. Quilting cats and bats. The driving analogy is perfect because learning how to drive is freedom in this car-centric country. That is exactly why I used it, because I know that there are so many parallels. Notice when we say we get stuck, we ran out of gas, I hit a roadblock, but then I'm flying. This is easy. I'm flying down the highway. You know, this feels easy. I'm cruising along. This, you know, there are so many. In the U.S., we use so much car-centric wording that we don't even realize it. Okay, so notice that. Yeah, that's, you know, Ruthie, I am a Gen Xer who loves pop culture, and music is pretty much like running through my head all the time. There we go. Okay, so somebody with a little sneaky thing, I can't see what it is asking, do you go live every day at the same time? Nope, I don't. But that doesn't mean you can't find me when I do. Because if you get so much done listening to me, I want to offer you two things. Okay? Two things. One is, follow me here on TikTok. My name is Beth. Destination Decluttered is my page. And when you do that, you'll be notified when I go live. However, that's one way. The other thing is, on the top of my TikTok page, I have pinned a schedule, a video that says TikTok live schedule. You can then write those things down, schedule it, you know, whatever, to remind yourself to do it. But then if you happen to miss a TikTok live, it's going to happen because you have your own life. You can't always catch me live, but the good thing is, and I don't even know who it was, but very early on, because I've only been doing these TikTok lives for about a year now, just about a year, and somebody very early on said, hey, do you ever record these? I would like to listen to this again. And I'm like, oh, sure. I mean, I don't, but I can. So now there are over 100. I should probably see how many there are. There are well over 100 TikTok live recordings on the Destination Decluttered YouTube channel. And I say that because folks have told me, wicked lot of people here have said, when I listen to you, I get stuff done. And so if you want to listen to me while you're getting stuff done, if that helps you get stuff done, do it. If that's a tool in your toolkit to have some positive reinforcement and some encouragement, an encouraging voice in your head to quiet down the backseat drivers so you can move forward, cool. Pop in, go to my YouTube page, pop it on your earbuds or your TV or however you listen. Pretend it's a podcast. You do not need to watch my TikTok lives. You don't need to watch them at all. In fact, I would prefer that you just listen, so then I don't have to worry about putting on makeup, not like I do. But you don't have to watch them to get the benefit. You just need to listen with an open heart and feel what resonates, get encouraged, and then that will encourage you to take action. Okay? So those are the many ways you can find me. I do know, I will say this, because it's getting late and I have a dentist appointment. Oh boy. In a few minutes. I've been here since 9:30. I rarely start on the half hour, but because I wanted to fit this in between coaching and the dentist, that's what I did. Tomorrow in the evening, some folks have suggested they would like, especially my West Coast folks, because I'm East Coast. I'm in Pennsylvania, and as you could probably hear from my Boston accent occasionally, I'm from Mass, even though I haven't lived there in a wicked long time. Talk about habit of talking, Johnny. God. That East Coast time is is where I show up, but I know there are people in the mid, in the West, and so like that in the West Coast. So I show up tomorrow, Wednesday, February 20th, 7 p.m. 7 p.m. So that's where the TikTok live will be tomorrow. And then we've got leap year people. So Thursday, February 29th, 8 a.m. Eastern. So those are the ones for this week. And as I said, I'm a flexible person. This is how I roll, and I love it. If you look at my calendar next week, you're like, oh my God, she has no client. It's fine. Before I leave for my my weekend away, I'm going to put some more TikTok lives and more consultations on the calendar. And you know who's going to hear about those first? Yeah, the people on the mailing list. So get yourself on the mailing list. It's free. It's easy. It's such a low-key commitment. Okay? I'm not going to pressure you on it. I'm just telling you there's a lot of cool stuff if you're on the mailing list. Okay? So hope that helps. Now, no. So I am totally live right now. Live. I'm live because I'm on TikTok. But what happens when I do these TikTok lives is TikTok records them. I download them from TikTok and then I upload them to YouTube. Okay? 100%. Ruthie, fellow masshole here. I know. Oh, man, I wish we had a better name than that, huh? There we go. Raspberry Parade. Raspberry Parade. That's what I thought it was too myself. I did. I was like, what's a Raspberry Parade? Very cool. Oh, thank you, Erin. Yeah, body doubling and YouTube. Erin saying YouTube lives are the best. I put them on every time I declutter. Beth is the best company. Thank you. I know what a difference it can make to have some encouragement in your life. I know it because I feel like I didn't get a lot of it when I was growing up. Now, my mother may claim differently, but I know what it felt like to grow up, and I will say that it feels so much better when somebody encourages you, somebody believes in you, somebody says, is that what you want to do? And instead of judging you, that's weird, don't do that, do what I want you to do. When that somebody says, that's what you want to do? Cool, let's do it. Cool, try it out, see what happens. You know, that is how you learn who you are, and that's how you get comfortable with who you are and what you want your life to look and feel and function like. It took me decades. It took me decades to get over trying to live a life that I thought somebody else wanted me to undo all of that unhelpfulness and to start doing the things and feeling the feels and being the person that I was meant to be on this planet. And the cool thing is, I feel like I am that person right now, and I'm getting even better every day. And because I've done all this, I can now show up and help you with this. And this is, I only want to work with people who resonate with what I'm doing and how I do it. I have no interest in hanging out with people that don't get me, but I get you. If you're here, I get you. I remembered saying once early on to a friend that we were working on stuff and struggling on things, and I remembered saying to her, like, I don't know if I just want to work with Gen X people, because there's some Gen Xers who are jerks. I said, I just want to work with people who get my pop culture references, that they get where I'm coming from, that they're like, oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, it's like, it's like Sanford and Son, or it's like 8 is Enough, or, remember Laverne and Shirley, or the pop culture, it's like, this is what helps me make sense of the world. And so if the way I describe things and the way I approach things feels good to you and resonates, then this is what I'm here for. And I love it, and I want to show up and do more of it. Okay? So, yeah. There we go. Thank you very much for elite vibes. That sounds good. I feel so elite. Yeah. And I am digging what I'm doing. That's what I will say. And it was neat. I will share this with you. This is so crazy. I've only got 2 minutes, so I'll share a quick kind of story from my life. In the last, less than a week, I have hung out with 2 pretty famous in our circles. Trust me, very kind of long tail music world, but 2 kind of famous people. Just Thursday and Saturday, that it was really cool to hang out with these guys and feel so good about who I am, what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, why I'm doing it, where I'm doing it, all those things, and to just be able to share that with them and be like, and to hang, like, that was a dream of mine from ever since I watched the Monkees. It's like, oh, I want to hang out with cool, cute musicians. And I was there, and I was there next to my cute, cool musician husband, who I never would have met had I not done something that kind of scared me. And that was flying across the country alone to go to see a rock show with a friend, kind of saying hello to somebody who I was afraid to say hello to, emailing the same guy, was afraid to say, you know what I mean? All those little things that I was a little afraid to do, but I knew if I did it, I had this sneaking feeling that I could get to the life I want. Here I am, 20x years later, hanging out with the cool guys, having a cool life, hanging out with you people. Let's do it. Let's do it. I want to help you. It would be a waste if I passed from this earth and wasn't able to share with you what helped me live a life I love, so that other people, so you can do it too. And it has a positive ripple effect. It does. Because I apologize, I can remember Voorhees, you were saying how you've learned from me, and now you're helping your friend who's struggling with hoarding, and because you are helping her, and they tell 2 friends, and so on, and so on, and so on. It's like the Fabergé organic shampoo of awesomeness, okay? You can do it. You can do things to make your life better starting today. Decide what's some little thing you can do today. Do it. And give yourself a Liz Lemon high five. I will give you a high five because I'm cheering you on all the time. Now I have to get off of this thing because I got to go brush my teeth and go to the dentist. But it'll be fine because I will do the thing I'm not too psyched about. It'll be okay while I'm there, and I'll be psyched when it's over. Okay? Hope this helped. Once again, if you're interested in signing up for the mailing list, I've probably talked that to death, but destinationdecluttered.com/join. Tomorrow night, I'll see you 7 p.m. Catch a TikTok live that's been recorded on YouTube, and you got this, okay? I'll see you.